Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here, parking Large Marge today and taking an Uber to downtown Hot Springs, Arkansas. Should be fun. It's my second channel, daily vlog channel. It's the Daily Woo. Whoa, got a little water on my bed. It's the Daily Woo. I apologize, buddy. The last thing I want in my bed is a wet bit. I'm not even gonna go there.
This is tasteless. It's really good. Just
the water comes from the ground, just like in Alabama.
It's out of the hot springs, yeah. And they say, due to the minerals and stuff, that it's really good for you.
These are all old bathhouses.
Yeah, and it's still active actually.
So you can go in there and take a hot springs bath.
Yeah.
Wow, they just line the roads.
All right, have a great time. Enjoy.
Hey, thank you, appreciate it.
You bet.
Have a good one. First order of business, coffee. I opted for the caramel latte. Remnants of a simpler time when cigars were only 10 cents. And you could park anywhere you wanted. Now, no parking. This is why I opted for an Uber. And where there is parking available, I don't think I'd fit in that parking garage. Just saying. Supposedly, they have the world's shortest St. Patrick's Day parade here in town. And look who is the parade starter, Ric Flair himself. Woo! No relation or affiliation, I assure you. Check this out. This rock is being exposed underneath another rock. Right in front of the historic Arlington Hotel is a statue of a woman watering the woodland creatures, giving them a little bit of water. You thirsty, fella? You thirsty? It's a good thing that she is hydrating you correctly. This child is saying, I want some, Mom. Please, I want some. Building is no longer in use, but I think it was an old hospital because look at this. This is the sign of the medical profession, and it has been placed on the National Register of Historic Places. Take a look at it from the outside. Pretty cool. Fantastic neon lettering here at the Aristocrat. I think it used to be a hotel. Now it's basically apartments. I bet some pretty famous faces back in the day got dropped off right here in this little circle driveway. Safe to say. A mural dedicated to the trolleys that once cruised down these very streets. And if you look closely, this horse is wearing a hat. If you're gonna pull a cart, why not wear your Sunday's best? Except this guy, all I need is a pick, and that's the only accessory I need. I meant to say pickaxe, not pick, but check this out. Most major league players of the early 20th century had few inhibitions, and many enjoyed gambling during training trips to Hot Springs. Even the great Bambino himself wandering these very streets, soaking and sweating it up in one of these bathhouses, smoking a stogie. However, if he was here today, he'd be very disappointed in this sign. Push yourself, kid. I'm Babe Ruth. In all seriousness, though, that's pretty awesome. I love baseball. I love baseball history. When I was in California, a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of a guy who knew someone that owned a sports memorabilia store let me hold in my hands a baseball signed by the man himself. The health benefits of taking the baths were a primary reason for baseball coming to Hot Springs. The players tended to drink heavily and believed the hot bath regimen could boil out the impurities of their system. I like this t-shirt. Arkansas, very shady. According to this rock, Arkansas has a Walk of Fame established in 1996, honoring different people who were born here and made significant contributions or are recognized national. I'm not sure what the rock has to do with it, but I'm guessing the Walk of Fame is here. I did find this, however, in 1944 on this very spot, Bill Bojangles Robinson celebrated his 66th birthday tap dancing down the road. I knew a man, Bojangles, and he'll dance for you. Wonder if he was wearing worn out shoes. I love that song. It looks like they have their own version of San Francisco's Painted Ladies up there on the hill. And I'm now realizing it's not just a clever name. Look at the steam coming off of that water. It's called Hot Springs for a reason. Now for the real test. Holy cow, that is super, super warm. I guess the real question is, do more people drink their water lukewarm, or do they put it in the refrigerator and cool it before consuming it here? I wonder. In 1927, U.S. Park Ranger James Alexander Carey was killed by bootleggers in the national park. He was the very first National Park Service Ranger to be murdered in the line of duty. Even though my vehicle is 12 feet and won't fit under the 8-foot clearance, they do have a free parking area, which is pretty awesome if you're a tourist and you come down here. And there are restrooms over here, which are also free to use over there in the corner. And an overload of majestic murals. Man, look at these leaves. Beautiful. One of these days, I'm gonna do one of these duck tours at a location I'm at. Not today, the weather's kind of nasty, but one day it will be done. It is fascinating seeing that steam just popping up out of the water like that. It reminds me of some bigger cities in the winter when the steam comes from the subway grates. I'm not seeing anything that would resemble what I know as a walk of fame. However, this guy's just chilling here. What's up, buddy? But yeah, not like Hollywood's Walk of Fame. No stars on the ground. If you peek in this candy shop's window, there is some delicious popcorn with caramel flavoring. Just walk away. Just walk away. In my time, I've been to a lot of wax museums. A lot of them owned by the Tussaud family, Madame Tussaud, Louis Tussaud, but I've never been in one started by Josephine. Let's do it. That's her. That's not the same as Madame Tussaud, is it? Different person, right? I'm very confused. Starting off with Steve McQueen himself. Walk up the stairway of the stars. Here we go. Even though I must take the stairs, they are on an escalator. They get to ride on an escalator. The sign says this is Elizabeth Taylor, but there is no nameplate for this gentleman. Who are you? The Last Supper has been depicted in many, many different ways. I've never seen it with nameplates in front of the characters though before. In the story of the Bible, Judas, the one with the money bag, was the one who betrayed. There's always one bad apple in the group. One guy you gotta watch out for. So he was the guy. Famous renegade Jesse James. And don't forget his brother Frank, seriously. Frank James. Do you think there was any weirdness between these siblings, just like Sylvester Stallone and his brother, also named Frank? Is Frank always the lesser known brother? We're now about to enter the Chamber of Horrors, and this is way too good to pass up. Are you ready for this? Hitchcock would be proud. We even have Frankie looming over there in the corner, and the Wolfman. And I'm not sure who he is exactly, but I do see Dracula peering through the wall. After further examination, that's the Hunchback of Notre Dame. You know, I'm a terrific surgeon. I could do something about that hump. What hump? Oh my goodness, this is moderately disturbing. Holy cow. Dedicated to torture this guy by ants. I'm not kidding. There are ants crawling on him. And it's probably a good thing it's kind of dark in here, because this guy is on something called an Algerian hook. You can't see the hook, it's the darkness. You can thank me later. Let's just take this visual in for a moment. That's a pendulum swinging over a person's torso. What the heck? We've now been taken back to Ford Theater. President Lincoln, he never saw it coming. This symbolizes the discovery of hot springs in 1541. People have thrown a lot of pennies down into the springs. Maybe that's good luck. And you gotta hand it to Tussaud. Even in his moment of excitement, he's still practicing his calisthenics. No way. No way. Is that seriously Richard Nixon right there? That is. Is that really Richard Nixon? I just want to stand here for a few moments and bask in the glory of this. Wow. Sitting next to that tree is Orville Wright. If you put some snow on him, you totally have Jack Nicholson from The Shining. Danny! Danny! No wax museum is complete without a portrait of the king himself. I do love this guy. We both share the same birthplace. Down over the balcony is Rumpelstiltskin. He's up to no good. That's Johnny Depp back there, and that's not the interesting thing. They're playing the soundtrack from the Disneyland ride Pirates of the Caribbean in here. Is that allowed? Let's see what happens. Press and hold button. There he goes. He's moving. He's turning into a real boy. He's not very lively, but he is moving very slowly. Pinocchio! He's very lethargic. If thinking that creature is going to jump out of that barrel and scare you is not startling enough, look at this! What in the name of... What is happening with their faces? The Mad Tea Party is in full effect. And if you throw a quarter in, it goes to local charities. The building it's located in used to be a casino. Out the window, you can see some remnants of it. And they have a little section dedicated to Al Capone and some of the slot machines, and you can even see part of the original wall. Hi-ho, 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 hi-ho. It's through the wax museum I go. And for whatever reason, I don't seem to remember this particular dwarf. And it empties out into a gift shop. Wait a second. Justin Scarred? That was a lot of fun. Highly recommended to go through there. It's enjoyable to see how each place, each wax museum is different than another one. My personal opinion, Madame Tussauds, the upper echelon, is the best wax museum as far as realism, but it's always fun to go through some of these campy places and see the characters. Head back down the road now, see what else we can find. It's kind of a dreary day, not a lot of people out. I'm noticing this place, the Galaxy Connection, has a lot of Star Wars stuff in the window. Fun fact, years ago, I used to have this Pepsi cooler in my apartment in St. Cloud, Florida. I have a hunch this place is going to be amazing. There's Yoda over there hanging out next to Ben Kenobi's gravestone. And as you pan in, we have a Jawa, we have Han, Frozen and Carbonite, Boba Fett right here, and whoa, look at this, a speeder bike. Now none of this stuff is for sale, but it's back in the museum area. A lot of classic old toys. The Falcon, Chewie. We're behind glass. Whoa, BB-8's making some noise down here. Hello there. Didn't see you there. You startled me. I don't know what's going on over here. There's a little bit of, it is a little cold there. I guess that's how they warm themselves up. I love how much old school stuff they have all through here. Pretty freaking cool. Some of this stuff I really want to own one day. Oh man, the Ewok Village. Even the metal lunch boxes from back in the day. See these plastic bowls? I used to eat cereal out of something similar to that when I was a kid. In fact, I vaguely remember having this Empire one. It brings back memories just seeing it. Be a Jedi, you will. Return to the Jedi is so good. Jabba's palace, the skiff barge. I need this stuff in my life. If you're brave enough to pass these guys, you can use the control board. Why am I steering this thing? Why am I steering it like a car? I like that place. The store sold mostly newer Star Wars stuff, but the back room, the little museum area, had a lot of really cool vintage stuff. I just noticed right here behind this fence is a Frisch's Bob Big Boy. Just chilling up there. Oh, there you are. I was wondering where all that racket was coming from. When I was walking around that wax museum earlier, it reminded me of a joke that I made up years ago when I would tell my friends. Basically, there was this local bar, and at the corner of the local bar, sitting on the edge of the stretch of the bar, was this crazy mutated dwarf that was always there, getting angry, yelling and screaming, picking fights with everyone. Well, this group of gentlemen came in one day and he started yelling at one of the guys. So these 3 or 4 young men were like, whoa, we should go say something to him. We're going to go confront this thing and give him a piece of our mind. He was sitting there in the corner, just pounding back booze, just doing shots, one after the other. And he had this affinity for one certain liquor that he loved to consume. And as these guys started to walk up to him, to tell him what they thought, and to confront him, the bartender put his hand on their shoulder and said, "Do not touch him." And they said, "Why? Who is he?" "That's Rumpelmint-Stiltskin." Vlog over.